You don't even think the flood happened. You think
The
the flood
flood
doesn't
did not
exist.
happen. The flood
They
absolutely did
have
not happen.
proof of the flood. They have proof of the flood, sir. They have proof of the flood.
They don't. Do you know what?
Scientists.
Okay, so let's have a look at this.
I watched.
Yeah, no, you didn't. So let's have a look at this. So according to the flood story, and this is fun to talk about. We like this, don't we, Sean? So according to the flood story, enough water fell on the earth to cover the highest mountain in 40 days. That would have meant a level of rainfall of 6 inches per minute. Do you understand what that means, Philip? 6 inches per minute.
It wasn't
water.
just from the top, sir. It was from the bottom and the top.
It was from the bottom and the top.
Water was coming from the earth and from the sky at the same time.
And it all magically disappeared afterwards. So 6 inches per minute of water would have created enough heat. The water being evaporated stores potential energy. So as that evaporated water condensed and became water, that potential energy would have been released as heat. You do understand this, don't you?
If you read the Bible, you would see it didn't evaporate. The earth opened up.
It was magic water. So the water condensing from evaporated water into heat would have raised the temperature of the atmosphere to about 800 degrees. So it's not so much a rainfall as cremation.
The earth opened up and swallowed the water. It's not magic water.
And it magically disappeared into the earth.
If you look, there are reports where scientists have found the crystallized water in the crust of the earth below the ocean.
No, they haven't. That's complete nonsense.
No, it's true. I saw the
It's true because it says it on Answers in Genesis.
What's the DOI number of the research you read?
I watched the reports myself. I don't look at DOI numbers.
You watched a creationist propaganda video. What's a deal? If you read peer review research, there's a DOI number that gives a reference number for the research itself. What is the DOI number if you read actual research and not a propaganda video?
I watched it myself. What is it? If you look at the bottom of the ocean, what do you see at the bottom of the ocean? There are statues in the ocean, not statues that fell there, statues that were there because it got covered. If you look at what do you call it? If you look at Everest, there's seashells and there's fish. Okay. There's fossilized fish.
Do you know how mountains form?
How'd they get there?
Okay. Well, I mean, you're saying if you don't know, that's fine. I'll explain it. Mountains form because there's tectonic plates. That push against each other. Look how John's doing with his hands.
Like that.
So things that were lower before get slowly pushed up over time. So like the earth is constantly like going through cycles, and mountain formation is one of them. That's why there is sea fossils and shells found at the top of mountains. That's actually a very known and thing in geology that is not controversial. That's not like some
that's a cop out.
It's actually how science is.
It's a cop out. No,
it's a cop out. It's just a cop out. You have no.
You don't even know how
explanation
mountains form, and
I know how mountains form.
Yeah,
you assume I don't know how mountains form.
And yet I asked you a question and you couldn't answer it.
I know you muted me. I didn't have time to answer.
I didn't mute you then. Actually.
Nobody muted you. Did. I said, "How did mountains
you
form?"
Answered it. And as soon as you said that, he started doing the formation, and you started talking. You answered it.
You're dishonest interlocutor, dude.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know how it could be the case that shells might be found on the top of a mountain, then maybe go back to school and learn some high school geology.
I'm telling you that
it was
that's
magic.
what it was found.
Yeah, it is magic. Yeah.
No, not magic. Not magic. Yeah. It was water. It was rain. Water. There were high water.
And somehow
you can look at the crust. You can look at the crust of the earth. Look at the crust of the earth and look at the layers. Look at the layers. Those were
and those layers all prove that a global flood never happened. As by the way, do the other civilizations like the Mesopotamians and the Chinese, who were apparently untroubled by the entire world being covered in water and the atmosphere being heated up to 800 degrees. Their civilizations happened to function completely through that period of time, apparently without noticing. How did they do that?
8 people came off of that boat. If you go into our genetic history, you can see those 8 people that we came from.
This is a bad argument.
You can see those 8 people that we came from.
If I was in your shoes right now, I'd be staying as far away from the entire human race had a genetic bottleneck of 8 people 4,000 years ago, I'd be staying as far away from that as I possibly could if I was in your position right now. You can
That's
go
what
there if
happened.
you want.
China even has in their letters
Mhm.
the story of Noah and his eight.
Yeah. No, they don't.
That's in there. It's in
No,
there
it's not. I don't know
because
where you've been getting your information, dude, but it must be on like Conspiracy FM on YouTube or something, because I don't remember the last time I spoke to a person who was able to say this many obviously and demonstrably and provably untrue things in this amount of time. I'm actually quite impressed.
it's true. Go find it.
Yeah, go and find it on
Yeah, go find it.
tinfoilhatsrus.com. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we might maybe move on from this because I think we've proved our point. We talked about original sin is obviously ridiculous for the reasons we've stated. The flood obviously never happened because the slightest bit of scientific understanding about anything shows you that there was not a global flood a few thousand years ago that covered all the waters, all the mountains in water from above and below. That's just total nonsense. There we are.